God bless your family. This is Pastor Kodi Jackson. I'm coming to you from the Family Church Ministries located here in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Just want to talk to you guys for a few minutes, kind of talk to you about who I really am and where I'm coming from, about the Family Church Ministries. Not so much want to try to do a comparison game because the truth be told, all the churches should be on one accord when it comes down to serving God under one ministry and just praising God. That's what we're really all about, and just embracing one another and fellowshipping with love and happiness, and not to make you feel bad for choosing one church or another church. But this is really about to get to know who I am as a pastor and why I'm pastoring. I have plenty of friends and family that are out there, and some know a lot about me. Some kind of assume they know some things about me. Some don't know who I am at all. And I just kind of want to share a few things, kind of impressed upon my heart to kind of just be open who I am. I'm a firm believer that whether you come to my church or you just want to get to know me as a person, you need to know who I am. And I have nothing to hide from that, but to always just be open and honest who I am. And I believe that's what kind of makes a great friendship, better family, better communities, to kind of know who somebody is and they have no hidden agendas. The Holy Spirit's really pressed upon my heart to do something once a week, maybe once every other week, and that's kind of do a vlog, and that's a video log. And I kind of just want to just give snips and pieces about, again, our church and what we're doing and what we're all about and how we're redeveloping the community, and mainly just keep you guys connected and abreast of what we're doing. So a little something about myself. My name's Kodi Jackson. I was born here in Los Angeles, California, White Memorial Hospital, 1978. To say that I was born to a great environment would be a complete and absolute lie, but it would not be uncommon because I believe a lot of people grew up back in those days in harsh environments. Born to Craig and Delphine, and they weren't married, of course, had a child very young. And so I had a father that worked by day, dope dealer by night, and drug addict late at night as well. And my mother was hooked on drugs. As a child growing up, were not the best of times. There were some rough times in my life that I believe was necessary for me to go through because it's who I am today. But at the time that I was going through, I just couldn't understand it. I can remember some memories, things that, again, no child should ever go through. But I can remember a specific memory. I remember my mom coming home one day. I must have been about 6 years old, and she was screaming and yelling. Her hair was all messed up. And I remember her just saying that she had gotten raped. And my father just stood there, and he was more so concerned with where the money went for the dope that he wanted to pick up, versus her actually being raped. And as a child, I had no idea what my mom and my dad was going through, but I thought how hard it must be for a woman to say that I've just been raped, and her man not trying to get her help. And there was also another moment in my life, I remember my father picking me up, had a truck at the time, and we drove and sat pretty bad neighborhood, it was drug addicted house, crack house. And I remember standing in that car with a Big Mac and some fries with my cousin Nate from the afternoon, it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just sitting there. And my father coming back, feeling good, did his own thing, and then we left. Those were several moments that I can remember as a child, from those moments to both of them being abusive with one another, being verbally abusive and physically abusive to one another. And let me share this with you, beloved. I'm grateful that I serve a God that protects the minds of babies. He covers the minds of us because I should be messed up a long time ago, but God covered us. He covered me where I was protected, and although I saw it, but it didn't internalize with me, and therefore I never lost my mind in the process at that point. Grew up a little bit more. My grandmother came and picked me up, got me. I stayed some time in California City. I loved my grandma, Ethel Grant, and then I left there and went to Alabama with my grandmother, Lily Pearl Everidge. Went from one situation to something different in the South, and it was very awkward. My grandmother was an evangelist. However, she suffered from schizophrenia, mental issues. And so I kind of never knew which grandmother I was going to get that day. But again, I thank God for his coverage and his protection, because he covered my mind even in the midst of adversity. Left, moved to Louisiana for a while, stayed with my Uncle Calvin and my Aunt Sharon. They really, really imparted in my life spirituality, New Life Missionary Baptist Church. They really, really nurtured me, and he showed me how to be a young man, and I can never thank him enough for what he's done in my life. But I remember my mom getting out of jail and getting me, and we stayed in a homeless shelter for a while. My first time being homeless. We stayed in the Volunteers of America, and whichever place would accept us, we stayed there. Slept on cots, slept on people's floors. We just slept wherever we can lay our head at. And so my parents hooked up again sometime later. Had my sister. Then my mom got arrested again, and it's something that continued in my life for a very long time. And we moved to California, my sister and I, to stay with my grandmother. And my mom got out of jail again and raised us up. And this whole time, I still never knew what my mom really was. And I remember being in 8th grade, getting ready to go on a Magic Mountain trip. And my mom had taken my money that my grandmother had given me, along with a few other items she had sold in the house. And I can remember the lady named Laura was driving us around, me and a couple of friends in the car. And I was trying to find my grandmother, trying to find another friend of the family to loan me money as a 13-year-old. And I never forget, this lady got so upset. She stopped the car and she said, "I don't have time to play with these crackhead games." And I remember I sat in the car and I cried, and I said, "What do you mean crackhead?" And she said, "You heard me." And she kept driving, but I know she felt bad for what she said. And the kids in the car, they kept saying dope fiend, instead of Delphine, all the way till we got to the school. And it really, really, hurt. But I thank God for his covering, his protection. Mom went to jail again, and she got out and took all three of us, my younger brother and my younger sister, and raised us some more. And we sat in this old beat-down apartment building in California City for a while. And then one day, my mom went out, stayed about 2 days in the house, didn't hardly have any food. I thank God for people like Mr. Harry Boyd, that was the apartment landlord that gave us food, and my Aunt Faye and my grandma came over. And I'll make a long story short, we ended up going to foster care. And again, thank God for his protection. We got out, stayed with my auntie. I didn't have my mind, right at the time, but I thank God for Harold and Mary Bird, that saw greatness in me, and they picked me up. They took care of me. They raised me as their own child with my brother Byron, and I joined the military at 17 years of age, and enjoyed my tours, had a great time. But I still struggle with some things because I hadn't had a release ever. Have you ever been at a point where you have so much in your mind and your heart, so much pain that you have no idea how to release, and it's just bottling itself up? And this is what I was going through. And so through all of that, I got married, had some children, helped raise my brother and my sister, just a little bit of their life. And then something happened in 2005. I had a complete nervous breakdown. No one knew about this, and I'm exposing this now. I had a complete nervous mental breakdown, messed up my house, tried to take a knife to my face. My wife and my brother had to tackle the knife out of my hand. Completely messed up. Everybody that's out there that's watching this, there's nothing wrong with saying you have suffered from depression or things you're dealing with, because if you do not have an outlet, then the enemy has room to attack you and mess with your mind. It was at that moment that God really, really spoke into my life. And I prayed at that moment in the hospital room that, God, if you deliver me, if you clear my mind, if you give me another chance, that I will never stop praising you. I will never stop shouting your name. And I will embark on the greatest mission that you have for me, which is to preach your gospel. And I got out of that hospital, went to Iraq, went to Qatar, and God really got a hold of me and shook me up, everybody. I want to just expose that because so many people have so much talent and so much gifts inside of them that there's so much things they're going through. The enemy will mess them up and make them think they're worthless. And I've been down that road. I want to let you know right now that you're not worthless, that God has a plan for you, but you've got to surrender on to God. So over time, God has really blessed my life. I got licensed as a minister, ordained as an elder, and I've been on fire ever since for God. And so the family church ministry was derived and centered around me not having a family. And I wanted to make sure that nobody else felt lonely, nobody else felt that they didn't have anybody to lean on, that we would be there as a family. Whether they wanted to join our church or not, we're a family to them. We're a loving church. We're a hugging church. We shake hands. We laugh. We pray together. And we just always have that loving atmosphere. We're not perfect, by no means. We have our ups and downs like any other ministry. But we are a loving church, and I stand by that. So I just want to give you just a quick few minutes about who I am and what this Family Church Ministries is all about. If you're watching this, I don't do this for sympathy or for somebody to be empathetic with me. I do this to be real. And I believe that if a pastor is real with the people, that people will love on them back. And again, whether you want to join my church or not, or come visit, at least you know that the man of God that stands behind that pulpit is human just like I am. That I've gone through problems like you are. I've been through a bankruptcy. I've lost out on all of our finances. I have been through times when we thought we were going to divorce, me and my wife, and we've been married for 15 years, March 11th of this year. I've been through depression. I've been through alcoholic issues. I've been there, done that, and I'm not perfect, and I think nobody's perfect. So with all of that said, I just want to give you a glimpse of who I am, and there's more video blogs to come, more vlogs week by week, and you're going to get to know who I am. But I want to open up my heart to you, let you know that we're a growing church, we're thriving, and we love giving back. So if you're ever in the area, stop by the Family Church Ministries, where everybody's family and nobody's a stranger. 11860 South Avalon Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. Look, even if you don't again want to join, at least you know there's a man of God that is just like you are, human with problems, but we serve a perfect God. God bless you and love you all, family. Bye.